When Vo Van Dung landed in Toronto, his arrival was celebrated as his rescue, part of a group of marginalized people forgotten in the shadow of history. Following the Vietnam War, hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese fled, fearing persecution. Many ended up with a new life in Canada, but others weren't so lucky. Landing in Thailand, stateless, unable to legally work, always in danger of arrest.
Welcome to Canada. Yeah.
Until a few years ago, after an appeal by US-based advocacy group Voice, Canada opened its door once again to more than 100 people. Then Immigration Minister Jason Kenney even there to greet them.
I welcome you to this beautiful country.
Thank you.
A senior government official tells CBC the special program was for the most marginalized, those who were basically invisible. The formal memo specified Vietnamese applicants must have left Vietnam between 84 and 91 and be residing in Thailand. But our investigation suggests at least 5 people were not those who the government seemed to want to help, according to a senior official connected to the plan. Take once again the case of Vo Van Dung. For someone who should have been fearful of going back to Vietnam, it seems odd he was there running a tour business, not living on the margins. CBC was unable to reach him despite several attempts. Another arrival, Sabe King, ran a jewelry and crafts business. According to his business associate, he lived in Cambodia, though King denied that when we reached him, and claiming when he arrived that his life in Thailand had been very challenging.
It's very difficult and not enough food and not enough education.
We showed all this to Nguyen Tang, who was involved during negotiations on who the policy should help. When he looks at who ultimately came in, some of those we showed him were not who he expected.
None of those cases would be eligible under this temporary special program.
Many of these people claim they are stranded in Thailand and should have been on Canada's radar. But they allege in this Facebook video that advocacy group Voice put more privileged Vietnamese on the list.
Hello everyone. Hello. Xin chào.
Voice founder Trin Hoi acknowledges his group helped create that list of names, but rejects doing anything wrong.
I did not personally go into each and everyone's life to check. For me, our job was to help and advocate for the refugees. Just because someone got resettled here doesn't mean that the person cannot go back to Vietnam and visit his homeland.
But a key official involved with the program refutes that, saying they could not go back for fear of persecution. If they could, I don't think we would have agreed to this policy, he said. And yet the government's own memo didn't spell that out, failing to specify applicants should never have left Thailand.
I was perplexed by the lack of control, internal control by the Canadian government over this special program.
I was actually very encouraged.
If there was a mistake back then, the government now is investigating. We spoke to the immigration minister before the election was called. I want to know what your government is doing to ensure that that special program was not abused.
I think it's important for us to continue to maintain the integrity of our immigration system. We take any allegation of fraud or anything that threatens the integrity of our refugee system or even the larger immigration system very, very seriously.